I haven't always worn the burqa. Growing up, I used to hate it. I thought it was oppressive, and people would think I'm so religious that nobody would want to be friends with me. So I was 17, and at my first term at this modern liberal university in Dubai, and I was struggling with the issue of fitting in. I didn't know who I was or what social group did I fit into. So, I looked around and I thought, everybody wanted to be part of the cool group, so I should do the same thing, right? Except those girls were really skinny and dressed up like Paris Hilton on steroids. So I didn't have the time to get skinny for obvious reasons, and I just went for the kill. So I went for the clothes. And I remember sitting in a math class, wearing this top that I had bought the night before. And I'm not going to give you guys too many details, but I can tell you that a plunging neckline was involved. And I remember sitting in that classroom and I'm pulling it up uncomfortably and just thinking, I'm trying so hard. And I was so unhappy. And my parents were unhappy at this weird, odd dressing sense of mine. And, I was nowhere close to being cool. And at that time, I think what was also happening was my mother thought her daughter was going to do some more weird shit. So she thought, you know what? You have to start wearing the burqa. And I said, oh my God, I hate it. But then the thing is, in our family tradition, my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, and many cousins, they all wear the burqa. And it's something that's usually initiated at the age of puberty. But in my case, my folks were a little bit more lenient. I hated the burqa, but something very strange happened. I fell in love with it. Took me a couple of years, but I did. I felt that it brought me closer to my cultural heritage. It made me a lot more stronger, and it gave me a sense of power. The burqa is a very important part of my cultural heritage, my family's heritage, the place where I come from. But the problem is that my burqa episode was also happening during the time of 9/11. So the media was filled with all these words, the burqa and the hijab and the niqab. And what a lot of people don't understand is that the names of the veils, they all have different definitions in different cultures. But the broad generalization is that the hijab is the headscarf, the niqab is the face veil, and a horse is not involved usually, and the burqa is the full body cover, and it comes with or without the veil. So what I'm wearing right now is the burqa in my cultural context. Now, the origins of a burqa are not in Islam. So it's not an exclusive Muslim identity. It's something that, we see it in a lot of different religions as well, the concept of covering the hair or different kinds of veils. We see it in Christianity, we see it in Hinduism, we see it in Judaism as well. And lately, we also see it with hipsters and superheroes. Now, being split between Rajasthan, the place where I was born, and Dubai, where I grew up, and London, where I now live, it's very interesting to observe the cultural reaction to the burqa. In Dubai, I'm not fashionable enough. I don't do blingy stuff. And in India, the burqa is associated with the Muslim minority stereotype of illiteracy and poverty. So, a lot of times when in India I walk into this decent hotel or a restaurant, not even posh, and I walk in and I have people coming at me from different directions saying, do you even know where you've come to? Are you sure you're in the right place? And, I start speaking to them in English, and then they say, oh, okay, so madam, you're not Indian, right? So you're from Saudi Arabia. And I look at them and I was like, no, thank you, I'm fine. And you see, it's not just the cultural heritage that the burqa got me closer to, but it's also this sense of power and this confidence that it gave me. The power to choose and the confidence to be myself, to be the person to respect myself and to be the person that I really am. A lot of people, when we talk about the burqa, always end up bringing the bikini in as well. But the thing is, each one of them have to be viewed in their cultural context. If you come to my village, or in any other community, for example, where women veil, and if you walk without the veil, you are going to attract unwanted and unkind attention. But if you veil, oh my God, that's the Indian in me too. If you veil, you become a part of the crowd, and it's easier for you to go out and about. In the West, the bikini isn't the most provocative thing you can wear. And in my world, the burka is not the most conservative thing. The true value of the burka and the bikini lies in the fact that a woman should get to choose what she wants to wear. But all of this has really helped me in making myself stronger when it came to dealing with alienation and stereotyping. For example, I was in London and I get onto this public bus, and I come and sit next to this kid who must be 5 or 6 years old. And she gets up and she says, ew, I'm not going to sit next to these people. But having said that, I'm also guilty of this, and I love this story. I was a couple of months back in this Indian airport, and it's 3 in the morning, really sleepy, and in this long immigration queue. And we're all standing there, and all of a sudden I see this guy a couple of steps ahead of me. And he's wearing a shabby scarf, got this little dirty bag, but holding a Quran in the other hand. And I stood there and I panicked, and I looked around and I was like, can nobody see this guy? Is he not dangerous? And that moment, being the only Muslim woman in a burqa, freaking out at another Muslim guy was really not lost on me. See, each of us, men and women, we all wrestle with this balance of sartorial tensions. Do you wear something that feels good on you? Do I wear something that honors my set of values, even maybe my cultural heritage? Or should I wear something that conforms to other people's perceptions? I love the burqa. I think it did great for me. Yes, I used to hate it, but I didn't dwell on the negative perceptions. I reimagined it to suit the vision of the empowered woman that I wanted to become. And my invitation to all of you is that the next time you guys meet someone who wears a burqa or a bikini, or maybe even Crocs, you look at them, I love Crocs, but you look at them, you pause, and you remember that the brunt of all your judgments and bias, it doesn't hit the cloth, it hits the human being behind it. And a lot of times, it damages them. And I truly hope that we can all start by undoing this unnecessary prejudice. Thank you.